FYREBX fundamentally started out as a 300-gallon delivery system of water, retardant, or foam that's attached to your skid steer. You just utilize a quick connect, and you're utilizing the auxiliary hydraulic flow for the machine. Stable, reliable, and there are no electronic parts associated with it, so the operator can focus on the operation. So fundamentally, you wanted to have 300 gallons of water, you wanted to have a locking firebox area so that you could have your proper tools, and a dozer blade so that you can cut line or move material. So that fundamentally at its core is where FYREBX started. We've now sold over 300 around the world. They're deployed in Australia, Canada, Portugal, as well as all over the US. Really excited to say that we've been working with the Forest Service last year. I have a copy of the form ERA, so on the fire side, it's loaded into AIM, so an IC or an ops person can go in and order the CTL FYREBX combination. In those instances, you can mix retardant, you can mix fertilizer. We actually now have innovated enough that you can hydroseed with the FYREBX. So it's not just a one-trick pony. We find that you can put it in a lot of different places. So we'll demonstrate some of those capabilities in a minute. But fundamentally, we offer a 300, 400, and 500 gallon version of the FYREBX, just limited by the operating weight that you have of your machine. We're showing it today on a CAT 299 D3. The operating weight just over 11,000 pounds. But you've got 1,000 pounds of steel here and other accoutrements. When you're full, you got, as you know, 8.2 pounds per gallon of water. So you're looking at about 3,200 pounds when this is full. You're like, wow, it's a lot of weight. Yes, it's a lot of weight. Kind of like some of your masticating heads, but the part of the patent on the design of the tank is a third of the weight is distributed behind the mounting plate. So when you see it in operation, you see that weight's being transferred back over the machine. So we worked really closely with Caterpillar, John Deere, Bobcat, and the other manufacturers. Capabilities of the skid steer, this FYREBX can go anywhere that this skid steer could go. So operating on a 19-degree side hill, uphill, downhill, doesn't violate the ROPS. It's all within the ROPS system for the operator there. What we found over the last 3 years is that you can get this water, this delivery system, a lot closer to what traditional solutions have been. A lot of the regulations, a lot of the approach to firefighting and safety in the woods has been around the fact that you can only get your vehicle and your water source so close because you're limited by access. What this allows you to do is anywhere this skid steer can go, you now can take 300 gallons of water, which replicates a Type 6 fire engine. You're using the standard hydraulic flow for the machine. The pump is rated for 250 gallons a minute. Obviously, you don't want to deploy or need to deploy 250 gallons a minute. And it's all about water management, as we know. So you manage that through your nozzles. Showing today 8 gallon a minute, a 40 gallon a minute adjustable, and a smooth bore nozzle. We'll demonstrate all those to you today. They have their different use cases and opportunities. If you want to run hose or you need to run hose, we offer a 100 or 150 foot hose section. We're looking at, and we've sourced a 300-foot hose, but I think the challenge is when you see where FYREBX can get you to, the necessity to have 300 to 500 foot of hose on a live reel may or may not be the application that you need all the time. You can store extra hose here. The other thing is all of these are threaded 1.5 NST so that you can run hose off of this. And we have a reducer, so if you want to run P-line, you can run it off of it. So if you get to a spot where you say, no, I need a little bit extra length, you can either deploy the hose off the front of the machine or using the hose reel. You can deadhead this pump. You're not going to hurt it. So the operator can actually leave it on manual, and use it as a pumping station. You can leave the machine, deploy your hose, utilize your hose in the manner that you need to. We'll show that again today. But it allows the operator to get a lot of places and spray the hose. All these attachments we've tried to design as quick connect, so you don't need an additional tool to move or change your spray or your spray pattern. They're all manually set. The reason for that is we allow the operator say I want to cut a wet line or lay a wet line, I can now angle my spray off to the left side. I can use my dosing blade. I can set this or the 8 gallon a minute. I can lay a lot of wet line very quickly and efficiently from the Firebox. You have 3 different ways to fill your Firebox. You've got a dump port here. This is all one tank. It's baffled all the way through. It's baffled both horizontally and longitudinally. So again, you're focusing on safety when you have 300 gallons of water in here. But you can dump fill here. You can also, as we use the drafting pump, you'll see that you can fill. These are back fill ports. So you have a tender or you have a hydrant you want to fill from, you can fill back here using these fill ports. And then the beginning of our actual live demonstration, we're going to draft for you. So we have a drafting pump, and this is named after one of our Cal Fire captains, Captain Hyder. We call it the Hyder pump because it's a 250 gallon a minute hydraulic pump. This is plumbed right into the flow control here. So the operator can come to your snap tank, to your lake, to your stream, if necessary. You're just redirecting the hydraulic flow at the flow control here, activating this hydraulic pump. This return line comes back here. You fill this bad boy in 70 seconds. And you're never having to disconnect the Firebox from the machine, from the hydraulic source of operating everything. So that's how we're actually going to fill the Firebox today. So we'll start our live demonstration in that way. But that's the 3 ways that you can fill it. You're double powder coated on the outside. On the inside, you'll see when you can take a closer look, you have a 3M sealant on the inside that's rated for seawater for up to 5 years. We also offer a cathodic rod. So really trying to make this a low maintenance piece of equipment. We love our maintenance guys. And really the wear point over time, the really only issue we've seen is the hydraulic hoses that come from the machine attached to the machine. Just like any other attachment, they can get pinched, they can get worn as you're raising and lowering over time. This is all standard hydraulic hose. You can get it very easily. We offer it, but in the field, it's very easy to do the repair if somebody happens to pinch the hydraulic hose. The pump is the only other operating piece that you could have an issue with. These come out of the fishing industry. We've modified these. They're designed out of commercial fishing to suck seawater and fish guts. They have millions and millions of hours on them, and they're very reliable. In the last 3 years, we haven't had a failure in that context. The great thing is you're never going to lose prime. Pump that is in the bottom of the tank, it's at the lowest part of the tank, and with this hydraulic style pump, even if you're on uneven ground, you're not going to lose prime, which is really important from a safety standpoint and just a reliability standpoint. It's nothing more frustrating than getting to a situation where you need it and you got to reprime your pump. That's designed that way. The other thing that I'm showing on this today is a front bumper. So this front bumper, again, the dozer is rated for 18,000 pounds at 8 miles an hour. So you can push, it's not designed for heavy road construction work, but you can certainly push debris, cut line, you can move small stumps, rocks. CAL FIRE wanted to make sure that we could push a vehicle for egress kind of issues if there was an emergency type of situation. From that standpoint, winterizing in your area may be an issue. So there are 2 drain ports on the bottom right and left, 3-inch drain ports. Again, you can't hurt it by running it dry. So you're going to just tip it up, drain everything out as much as you can, run the pump to clear your lines, and you're winterized in a couple minutes and you're ready to go again. Anything that's water soluble can be run through the pump. If you want to hydro seed, you can hydro seed using the pellet style. There's no auger inside of this tank, but we do have jet agitation. So when you look at the machine, at the Firebox, at the front, you'll see direct valves that you just turn 180 degrees, and it uses that vortex agitation. So you can mix that pellet style hydromulch, get a nice emulsification after a couple minutes. Then you just redirect the flow back to one of the nozzles that you want to spray from if you want to do hydro seed. Not designed to replace a large scale hydro seed operation, but some restoration projects, some areas that it's harder to get those bigger trucks to, this is a great fit for that. Again, you just rinse it out after you're done, drain it, and you're back to using water or what other liquid you're doing. I'm going to pause right there and offer any questions at this juncture.
As far as the box itself, there's no greasable, serviceable items. It's just on the machine, the carrier itself.
Correct. Flow control is just handling the disbursement and return of your hydraulic fluid. And it's a closed system. The hydraulic fluid in this pump doesn't even come in contact with the impeller is encased, so the water or whatever you're moving through never comes in contact even with the impeller.
Matt, can you discuss the FYREBX requirements and what we did on our newer models with the side box?
In order to facilitate all of the requirements, we've modified a couple different things. So if somebody is in a situation, so this base pump runs 250 gallons a minute, maxes out at 120 PSI at the current hydraulic flow. We have an upgraded pump that we've worked with Marquette on to get the 150 plus PSI. It's actually rated up to 250 PSI, so we make sure that there's plenty of PSI there. In some of our units, you get the larger volume. The 400 and 500 gallon version, you lose the storage space so that we can mount the same storage area on the wing here, so you have your locking firebox. In the instance that we would need this space for the larger hose reel or anything else that would prevent having the adequate storage space, you can run the toolbox that we mount right here on the left wing. It doesn't impede the visibility for the operator, but allows you to be fully compliant and have all your tools on site. Another thing that we do offer as a product is a rear bumper with a winch that fits on the different makes and models. It's a rear swing bumper, protects the back of the machine, holds tools, and it has a 16K winch on it to help out with operations as well. So again, in some scenarios where you're required to have a winch on your machine, that rear bumper with winch, with the compliance is there. Questions?
When you have these front nozzles charged, is the hose charged also, or is there a flip switch?
Great question. So these are all, as I mentioned, these are all interchangeable. So it depends on what you have activated. This is your line to your hose reel. If I was going to be wanting to have the hose reel active, I would take this nozzle off. I would move this to the forward position. I would have one spray nozzle, and I would have the hose active.
So the two back ones are holders?
These are holders for we want to have a place for all the equipment, but also there's the fill port as well. I had a great customer in Mariposa that called me the other day and goes, "Hey, the rear port's not spraying. What's wrong?" And not designed to do that.
Are the two front ports with output? Are they on the common rail, or are they separate?
Great question. So the question is, are they on a common system or are they separate? They're all powered by the same pump. So we had people ask us to put solenoids in this so the operator can turn them on or off. Something that's still in development, focus on reliability. So at this point, the operator, before they get in the equipment, would set which one they want to use and the spray pattern. So you'll see, like, this is an adjustable. So I can adjust this from a fan spray down to a stream spray. I'll pick what I want. I'll pick my angle before I get into the equipment, and that way I know exactly what's going to operate when I hit the trigger. You're just operating off the auxiliary trigger in the machine, and so in the cat, you're just rolling forward to spray. I've been out on many prescribed burns and incidents. I'm a recovering lawyer, corporate lawyer, don't hold that against me, but I have got my fire card and I've been working and learning a lot from the industry. I've been on burns, 8-hour, 10-hour days, and we've only had to refill twice. So from that aspect, in those situations, a lot of the foresters, they appreciate the fact that they don't have to roll out a whole bunch of hose and then roll it back in to get to the next spot. Or when we're doing mop-up or checking for hot spots, again, the old way is have your backpack, right? And you're humping around and you're putting out your spots. You see a hot spot, you roll over with the firebox, hit it, take care of it, and move on really quickly. I may have touched on this, but I'll touch on it again, just because a lot of these CTLs like to be deployed on different types of operations. So CTL may be doing another function with a bucket or a grapple. You're less than a minute on or off of the machine, right? So you're just using the disconnect to the machine from a safety protocol. You're just making sure that the pins, like any other attachment, are locked in before you go anywhere. You're attaching these two hydraulic hoses to the auxiliary, and then you're going. Vice versa, if you're wanting to do that or change out to another thing, again, you're off in a minute. The Southern Oregon guys call these squirrels because they can move very quickly. They can get out front of things very quickly. So you don't need to call in a lowboy or a larger piece of transport. So in transporting these, you can load up and you can be moving in 15 minutes or less to another location if you need it somewhere else. There's not an easy way to recharge it in the field. Whereas with the drafting capabilities of FYREBX, if you were to use your entire 300 gallons and you have a water source anywhere nearby, you're recharging in 70 seconds and you're back at doing what you do. Kiewit Construction, we've sold over 20 FYREBX units to Kiewit, Chief Safety Officer for their building division, and this combination, truck and water trailer, is the #1 accidents on their job sites. They run over stuff, they have the least trained operators, a lot of different reasons why this, even though the FYREBX is, from a price standpoint, costs a little bit more than that water trailer by itself. #1, they already have the CTLs, they have trained operators on the CTLs. FYREBX can sit there and it's not going to run anything over.